Good morning, everybody, wherever you're watching from. Today we have Aaron with us here, and this will be the sixth episode of the 6 a.m. Summit. Good morning, Aaron. So, before we start off with the questions, would you like to give a brief introduction about yourself?
Sure. Uh, my name is Aaron Tsai. I'm Chief Capitalist of Mass Capital. We've been providing investment banking services, taking companies public on NASDAQ since 1995, where Mass Capital was founded in the US. And we have expanded into Asia, especially China, with our Asia headquarters based in Shanghai. We continue to provide US going public service via SPAC and IPO to take a Chinese company public in the US to raise growth capital. And a few years back, we decided to invest into blockchain fintech space. So one of our investment is MASFI, MASFI, which is a financial public chain. And on the MASFI public chain, we built hash brown swap, which is open DeFi platform with a next generation exchange. We have completed private beta and it's about to launch this month or before end of the year. Okay, back to you, Savik.
So, like for some people who might not know what exactly like hash brown swap and everything is like, is it basically cryptocurrency made easier for everyone?
Yes, hash brown swap is designed for everyone. It's for decentralized finance, where you no longer need to download your wallet app or a plugin or any software, period. You just use a web browser, type our address, then you're into our platform, and with one click of button you're in the wallet. Then because we are DEX, so the only thing you need is your email address, and after verification you can start crypto trading. That's how easy and simple for someone that never touched crypto before can begin trading in 3 to 5 minutes. And further to that, uh, user no longer need to understand the concept of private key because we use smart contract to automatically and securely control the private key. So you don't even see it and you can never forget it. So as long as you are in control of your email, and we add an additional layer of security using Google Authenticator, um, with controlling your email and your mobile phone, then you can never lose your tokens for not remembering your private key.
So, like, I have two questions basically. Cryptocurrency is something that I was still learning about. Like, I've known there's like digging of crypto. There is, it's basically in a way like stocks. The value goes up and down. But I'm not exactly, for all the people who might not know what cryptocurrency is, like, would you want to explain a little bit?
Sure. Well, cryptocurrency, technically speaking, is just a smart contract, but it has a value based on what people or the community will give value to it. Uh, and the easiest way to understand is if it's a platform token. For example, on Hashbrown Swap, we have HBS as platform token, and HBS will be able to use as a to pay for trading commission fee or possibly lending interest down the road. If there's a demand or a need to use certain token, especially platform token, then there will be a market demand for the price to appreciate. But sometimes that may not be necessary. Like if especially if someone famous like to promote or hype a token and people willing to speculate, then the price goes up and down.
Elon Musk and the Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Bitcoin initially was, but it became a multi-platform token. It started out as people use for gambling and some illegal activities, and people are now applying to payment. And at Hash Brown Swap, we support Bitcoin, ETH, and USDT as a cross-border micropayment solution. The reason we can do that is through our cross-chain technology. We can transfer BTC, ETH, or USDT within our wallet in 1 to 3 seconds at the cost of zero point 0.1 US dollar in gas fee, which we will waive it during the initial launch period. So basically, we give everyone a cross-border micropayment solution just using Bitcoin, ETH, or BNB, any major token. And the user can access a local fiat in a two-step process by using the service of any third party connected via API to our platform, such as a crypto bank, a payment company, or a credit card company.
Wow, that's actually very interesting. So, one thing that fascinates me about fintech is always that how easy it makes life. Everything you can do on your mobile within 3 seconds. So, trading cryptocurrency that fast, and someone who's never traded like cryptocurrency, someone who has no clue about it, could learn it in like, let's say, 10 minutes maximum.
Yes, theoretically, you can start trading 3 to 5 minutes on hash brown swap. You just use your email, verify your authentication code, and then you can send in your BTC, ETH, or BNB and start trading. And we are a cross-chain platform, meaning you can trade token pair generated on different public chains, meaning you can trade BTC against ETH, ETH against BNB. And you can store all this token in one single HBS wallet, which you cannot do on a MetaMask. You have to switch the network in order to store the token generated on each specific public chain.
It's very interesting, actually. So we could start with like the questions here. Um, one thing I always ask all the guests who come onto the show is how and when and like why, basically, more about the why they made their way into fintech.
Um, can you repeat that question? What about fintech?
So my question was basically how and why, like, have you entered fintech? Like, something, when did you
I
start
see.
feeling like you wanted to enter fintech? Where did you see the potential here?
Well, I've been wanting to get into fintech a long time ago, back in the uh, late 1990s, when I want to do an internet online brokerage firm. Uh, at that time, you know how difficult to even find someone to help you put up a company website.
Yeah.
So I never got it off the ground. But this time around, I saw a new opportunity. The internet went from 1.0 to 2.0 mobile internet. Now it's going to the 3.0, which blockchain-based internet. So that's why I decided I want to take advantage of this big opportunity, and where I believe the entire financial industry is disrupted already by the blockchain-based fintech technology.
So what was the thing about fintech that kind of got your interest? So as you said, you wanted to get into fintech in the late 1990s. What was like the thing about fintech that caught your interest, something that made you say that yes, this is something I want to do?
Well, this time around, I found a great blockchain technology team led by Simon. He is a former Microsoft architect. So we have a very strong tech team, plus my long history of Wall Street financial background that gave us the competitive advantage in getting into the fintech business. And we are about to launch our platform with a very innovative and advanced technology.
Wow, it's actually very fascinating. So, something about me is that I haven't been learning, like, I wasn't interested in fintech about a year ago, but just recently, when I actually started looking into fintech to learn about what it is, and I started this podcast, everything that I've learned yet is pretty fascinating because one thing about it is that it's made payments easier, it's made trading easier, it's made cryptocurrency like just there on your mobile in like 3 to 5 minutes, as you said, you can quickly trade. And yeah, it's made everything so easier that things have become convenient for people. One thing about business, I believe, like I've said this before, is that it's supposed to be efficient and it's supposed to give the customer a good experience overall. So fintech is actually like probably most efficient ever. And the experience for the customer is that you could just sit at home, turn on your mobile, click three buttons, and you're done.
That's true. And besides the crypto trading, the crypto commercial banking has also taken off, meaning you deposit Bitcoin, you get Bitcoin interest. You deposit Ethereum, you get Ethereum interest. And you can do BTC collateralized lending and borrow on the platform without human intervention. It can be done in a couple minutes.
Yeah. So, you know, how big of an industry do you think fintech can be in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, one thing about it is that the payment sector, mainly here, is, people would probably like to go out a little bit after the COVID unlock, as everybody's sat at home, done online shopping, done online payments, everything. But where do you see fintech going post COVID unlock?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, we already have a payment solution. Uh, I can send you a $5 worth of Bitcoin right now. It only take 1 to 3 seconds to get to you.
So
And
do you see
any merchant that are willing to accept any major token, we already have a tokenized payment solution without using our own token like Facebook is trying to do. We
so
simply use technology to support major token as a means of payment.
so do you see cash, like, do you still see the cash versus fintech battle here, like in the next 5 years, as people start to go out after the post COVID unlock? Uh, what do you would you see that people would prefer cash, or they would still prefer online banking?
Well, in China, people use Alipay and WeChat Pay, uh, especially the younger generation. Only the older people like me that still use cash. A few years back, even I don't use cash anymore because it's so convenient using electronic payment. But a blockchain-based payment can make a cross-border payment and much and other access DeFi services much easier.
Right. So, one thing about fintech is that, not just fintech actually, one thing about just business is that when you come into the industry, you don't come in with 100% knowledge. You learn over the course of the years that you've experienced. But would you say, like, what would you say would be your biggest learning about fintech in all the years that you've been doing fintech till now?
Yeah, it's uh, you never know which sector becomes hot because I first I did not build a DeFi platform. I tried to build a high-end security token exchange called MASEX, MASEX. It's almost like a crypto version of Nasdaq. We want to put stock into token so people can buy and trade like a cryptocurrency. But the market never really took off. So we decided to put that project on hold and jump into DeFi, which is a hot sector. But one sector for STO is hot is the NFT for artwork or for game character in the games space. And in the DeFi industry, people found way of using utility token to do security token business. So we find that interesting. So now we focus on what's popular, what people want at the moment in time. And then eventually, as I believe the security token market is much bigger.
So that's basically you guys shifted projects and now your main focus is on the DeFi
Uh,
platform.
right, the hash brown swap. Yeah, built on our own MOSFI public blockchain, which is Ethereum smart contract and API 100% compatible. Yet we operate at ultra high speed of 10,000 transaction per second versus Ethereum's 15 transaction per second at the moment. That's how we realize lightning transfer of all the major tokens.
So as you said, these are just the startup projects that you've started, right? And so what would you say, for all the people might be listening in, what do you think could be the biggest challenge when creating a fintech?
Uh, well, there are several barriers. One, you need a good business plan. You have to identify a market need, and then you have to have the technology and marketing to go with it, provided you have sufficient capital, of course. And at Hash Brown Swap, we offer our platform to our partners. We are willing to co-brand and to go to the market. So someone can launch a DeFi product on our platform to quickly get into business without spending a lot of money building a technology platform.
Right. So as you said, like, the startups that you guys have been creating, like the Mass EX or the DeFi platform, MassFi, um, would is Mass Capital like the parent company of it?
No, we're the venture capital firm that provide funding to all this vertically integrated ecosystem.
So what exactly is Mass Capital like? Is it because like the company's names, like the MassFi or Mass EX, have the Mass Capital's MAS in it? So just wondering.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Moss Capital started out as an investment banking firm. Now we have an investment arm with Moss Capital Cayman Island, and we're dedicated in investing in blockchain fintech space, currently only within our own ecosystem, from the infrastructure MOSFI public chain to the high-end application, the hash brown swap.
Oh, right, makes sense. So what again back to the startup. Uh, what would be the obstacles according to you that when launching a fintech startup, not just coming up with one, would be the obstacles that you might face?
Well, for any new business, first you gotta solve the capital issue. You gotta have enough saving or raising enough money from family and friends, and you need to have find a good market that you're going after to come up with the business plan, and then you have to develop the tech platform. And if you're looking to do a token offering, you have to build a good community in order for you to sell your token to raise additional capital.
So do you do you think it's basically more about the capital issue in the starting of, like, in the beginning of the startup process? Would you say it's mainly just the capital issue, or are there like maybe some competition issues, or other legal issues that you might have to face?
Well, they're all obstacles that uh, entrepreneur has to face. Uh, but you gotta start off with sufficient capital just to get in the game, and then you have to have a good business model, build the tech, and you probably need to raise more capital selling tokens or the equity in the company, and you have to be able to market to your target audience to make it work.
Right. So, one thing about, like, is that I want to know, like, the why about things. So there's how, there's what, and there's the why. And why, like, one question here is that why do you think fintech has made things easier? Like, why did it take off so late when it was always going to be convenient for people? Why did it take so long for it to be something big? Because a lot of people have started looking around fintech mainly due to the lockdown. Most people that I know have actually, not just like, not just teenagers, but some of the people even elder have recently just looked into fintech because of the lockdown, as everything moved online because of COVID. They started looking into fintech because they said all of it would become digital. But before that, half the people probably did not know too much about fintech.
Well, actually, fintech's been around. Let me divide the fintech in the internet, mobile internet era, and currently what we're referring to as blockchain-based fintech. Okay, before for internet moving into mobile internet, first you have to have a wide adoption of mobile phone before you can have mobile-based fintech applications. Like you can use PayPal on your mobile phone to make payment, but you gotta have a smartphone first. But now the the Bitcoin and the Ethereum public chain and other major public chain made in the smart contract and the DeFi platform availability in the marketplace, the adoption of the blockchain fintech application actually is growing much faster than the change from the internet to mobile internet era.
Right. So, with fintech, like, when starting out, there are obviously, with any business actually, there are obviously some risks that you need to take. So, what would be, even you've been in the industry since such a long time, what would you say was the biggest risk that you might have had to take to reach where you are today?
Well, just like getting into any startup, you're risking your uh, personal asset and security to get into unknown territory. So that's a very personal decision whether someone want to take that big jump to get into a business. Getting into fintech business no different than getting into any other business, except that in the fintech business, people use a token to raise capital, which is a new innovative way of getting people that understand crypto or want to invest or speculate to participate. And before you people use ICO and then IEO method with exchange sponsoring, and now people are doing IDOs, which is initial DEX offering, meaning after the token sale, it will be traded on decentralized exchange like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, and now in the near future, it can list and trade on Hashbrown Swap.
So basically, all food names have been incorporated into all of this.
Yes.
It's funny. So, because one of the targets is probably young people here, what advice would you give to young dreamers who might be interested in fintech?
Uh, my advice is that if a young person want to get into business, he's got to do a lot of planning first and gather the financial resources and then maybe find someone that can provide experienced business person to provide advice. And team building is also important. If you're a marketing person, then you need to find a tech partner. If you're a tech person, you probably need to find a marketing partner. And then if you can find an angel to provide you the capital, that would be ideal. But angel is an angel. It's not easy to find. So most people has to rely on personal and family and friend resources to launch their own project. And on Hashbrown Swap, we have a launch pad, meaning you can sell token at fixed price to raise capital.
So, like, would Hash Brown Swap be motivating or promoting these young startups?
Yes and no. We are a platform, a financial supermarket. They will be just one of the product on our platform. They would have to promote their own token. We provide a trading mechanism or for people to purchase and trade.
So you provide them with the platform, they still have to do all the hard work.
That's right.
So, for, as you said, planning like fintech takes a lot of planning. What would you say is, maybe there's a template or something that they could follow, what the different stages of their startup, how they could think of this idea, how they could get into it, how they could launch it, all of this. Like, what would you say would probably be the step-by-step process for planning a new fintech or looking at a fintech to learn, just even when it comes to learning?
Well, fintech business is just like any other business. So one easy way to go about it is there are a lot of guide about how to write a business plan out there. And by writing the business plan, you go through different area of planning, require someone to think through the process on the management, on the product, on the marketing, on the technology, etc. So that's a good place to begin, to find a guide on how to write a business plan and do one for their own project.
Right. That makes sense. So, is there, when it comes to starting off a business, is there something different about fintech, or something that people might want to look out for? As of course there's competition, like, one thing about fintech is that there's so many companies, maybe just about crypto trading, there's so many companies that are looking into that, who are making products, making apps for trading cryptocurrency efficiently. There are the payment sector within fintech, there is Paytm or something like that. Then the stocks, there is Zerodha, there's Upstocks. This is mainly India. Um, but yeah, apart from, it being just about just like any other business or starting off, would you say there's something unique about it?
Well, what's unique about it is, fintech, just like any other technology business, uh, the improvement on technology or business model move very fast. So you have to be able to adapt. Well, most people or most DeFi product or services are Me Too product. So everybody has it. It's difficult to run ahead of everybody else because you have to be able to innovate. But innovating require risk taking. You have to develop a product and spend money on technology with something that's never been done before. And that's what we have done at Hash Brown Swap. We built a DeFi platform that's with building a next generation exchange and the building wallet. The whole system is one piece. Unlike application out there where the DEX is separate from the wallet, for example.
So, maybe not connected to this, but like a little bit of a different question here. Uh, about fintech, one thing about fintech is that it's made to help people around, right?
Yeah, fintech would increase efficiency in a lot of financial transactions,
Right.
especially in payment, trading, and in the future investing. For example, especially for people in developing or underdeveloped nations, because of for example, if you're in Africa, you don't have a bank account, but as long as you have a mobile phone, then you can do international payment. You can make a investment in a stock index with as low as $3 or $5.
So, crypto, like the payment sector or something like that, has always obviously been made to help people. But one thing I don't understand very well is probably crypto in the fintech industries because I'm still learning about it. But how would cryptocurrency or mainly your platform here help someone in, let's say, someone who is in financial turmoil, or like people who don't have enough capital to be trading crypto? How would, how could they start off their crypto journey? How would fintech help them?
Or for example, a company in the US can hire a Indian guy in the rural India that he doesn't even have a bank account, but he studied hard. He can do programming, so they can pay this guy in cryptocurrency for his services. And by sending USD for him to receive and convert into local currency would be a very uh, problematic.
Right. So would you say crypto is also a part of fintech that is made to be helpful to people, or is it just something that is for people who would understand it primarily? Because I still don't understand crypto super well, and it would be hard for me to get into crypto as like in the beginning, as I would be a little bit confused about it. But how do you think crypto could help everybody? As you said, like it would be problematic for him to convert into his into.
Well, that's what we're doing at Hash Brown Swap. We're bringing crypto to people, enable everyone to be able to easily use a crypto wallet, easily use crypto as a cross-border payment solution. And on our platform, they can not only trade crypto, but also buy investment products. So by making things simple, it will make everybody much closer to the crypto or the DeFi marketplace.
Right. Um, Pretty interesting. So, you know what? Uh, how many years have you been into fintech? Like, let's say around 20 for sure.
Uh, well, I would say I've been into fintech for over 3 years.
Oh, just three? I thought it was 20. Um, so
Oh,
what
no,
would,
I'm talking about the blockchain fintech.
oh, right, okay. So what would you say, is your main take since you've been working in there, in that particular sector for 3 years now? What is, from your experienced opinion here, what is the main take from that particular sector? What is, the main learning or that something that you could take away from that sector?
Well, we're investing actively to build a new blockchain fintech ecosystem that that I believe will disrupt the existing financial industry, the traditional financial industry, because the blockchain fintech technology make business much more efficient and much easier to access for everyone around the world, not only from providing banking to the unbanked, enable them to do payment, enable them to make an international investment that they will never have the opportunity to do.
So, like, if I say that fintech is basically, you know, what sectors would you say are there within fintech, like payments or the cryptos or everything else? Like, how many sectors could come under fintech?
Blockchain technology can apply to many different sectors, but fintech meaning it's specifically referring to the financial industry. Um,
So, like, when you hear the word fintech, what is probably like the first thing that you might think of?
mm, well, right now I focus on blockchain based fintech. So it's everything will be running on public chain, and all the application in the future we will focus on building it on our MOSFET public chain, such as hash brown swap.
Right, of course. So, we're running out of time a little bit here, but just to outro this, if I say that fintech is always beneficial to people who are not just privileged but also in need, would you agree with that statement?
Can you repeat that statement one more time?
Fintech is beneficial to not just the privileged to use it, but also the people in need have who have fintech solutions that who are being provided with fintech solutions for, let's say, daily life issues.
Yes, I totally agree because right now a lot of financial services are offered only to the privileged few. For example, you will not be able to get investment portfolio analysis service unless you have, for example, 500,000 or 1 million US dollar worth of asset. But through fintech technology, AI robot can become your advisor and can give you advice on small amount of money as low as maybe 500 or $1,000.
So
So
just
it's giving power to everyone, including the not only the developed nation and the underdeveloped nation.
so uh, last question here. For those people who are looking to start something up, would you advise them to get into fintech, or do you think they should still explore different industries too?
Well, if they want to get into fintech, they should have some competitive advantage. For example, they are a software engineer or they have a financial background. Uh, you got to have some kind of edge. Otherwise, why would you want to get into a fintech business when you don't have the ammunition to build
There,
a business in the fintech space.
there's like a lot of competition here, and if you aren't one of the big sharks, you probably might get eaten up.
Right, it's a very fierce competition.
Yeah, so I think it's been like a pretty good 45 minutes that we've spoken for. Thank you so much for your time today. Uh, I'm not sure what time zone you're in right now, like what time it might be there, but over here it's still not 7 a.m. And just I just wanted to thank you for being here today. Thank you for your time. I'm sure the audience also had a lot to learn, just not just me, but yeah, the DeFi platform, something very interesting here. I didn't really understand cryptocurrency properly, but if I were ever to get into it, I'd probably use that platform, as now I know that 3 to 5 minutes and I would learn, and then in 1 to 3 seconds I could trade. Um, so yeah, that's very cool. It's very fascinating for me.
Okay, thank you, Sabi.
Thank you so much for your time today.